Hello everyone. In the last class we have seen what is relational model and few concepts regarding relational model. What is relation schema, instance we have learned. Today we are going to see what is SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. So it has been developed by IBM in the year of 1970. So it is also known as RDBMS, which stands for Relational Database Management System. So generally if any database is following tables or data is stored in the form of tables, automatically we can say as relational database. And this DBMS or RDBMS was found by Edgar F. Codd, and he has designed this some rules against that. So any database if you want to design any database, so it should follow these 12 rules. So ensure that it is going to be following all those 12 rules. What are those 12 rules? Obviously we will be studying in our among all the part of our DBMS. So these are the standards that have been mentioned or that have been came into existence in the SQL 86, which was under the name of year 1986, and it was developed by ANSYS. And like that, there have been many versions that have been developed by IBM, right? Just we will have a quick look of how SQL language or SQL looks like. So we call SQL as query language. Query means questioning language. So we are going to interact with DBMS in the form of queries. So how we can use these queries and how we are going to create table, insert all the operations that are dealing with DDL, DML will be seen in this class. And so this is a table, right? As I have mentioned earlier, table means having rows and columns. So here rows are there, so I can say that there are two rows, that is cardinality is equals to 2. And what is degree of this table? Degree means your columns, right? So 1 2 3 4 5, there are 5 columns. So uh, this degree of your table is 5 or arity is 5. Okay, so here if I want to select if I want to look the table or if I want to retrieve the table, I can write as a select command. So select followed by star. Okay, all the query language or this select command is used to extract data from your database. So if I want to see the table, then I need to write with command called select. Okay, so if I want to retrieve the total table, right? If I want to retrieve the total table, I need to write star. Star means all the content of the table. So select star from what table? You need to specify from, right? So generally syntax is select star from table name. Okay, so if you want to give any constraints, if you want to give some more conditions, then you can use where keywords, so which states that some condition is there. So I want to select only whose age is equals to 18, so your table will be displayed only with the age 18, right? So we will come across all this content again. So if you want to retrieve the table, only syntax is select star from table name semicolon, right? So here we are going to see how we are going to create table in your SQL. So we are having syntax called create table table name, right? Create table name, and you need to specify whatever the attributes are there, followed by their data types, right? So I'm not again explaining what are the data types. Generally I will be posting a link over what are the types of database that can be used in SQL. So one among them are char, that is used for characters, integer only for integer values, real is for float values, right? So whenever you are going to specify char, you need to specify the length of the character. So 20 specifies 20 letters, so it is restricted to only 20 letters. So I can give only my example name of only 20 characters or id of 20 characters. So if you are having roll number, nowadays students are having roll numbers like 1 3 A1 college code and 05 C1, right? So it is combination of characters and values. So you can have varchar. So we are having varchar variable character, which takes both variable and characters at a time. So varchar is also there, and varchar2 is also there, which specify or which gives high value more than this character space, right? So the syntax is create table, table name, and you need to create a table specifying all the attributes of the student. And this, so here two tables have been created for students and for enrolled. So some among this DML and DDL commands, drop table. Drop table is used to destroy the table, and we are having alter table to add any column. Suppose if I have created a table and I have forgot to add one column. So if I want to add one column, I can use alter table. You need to specify what table name you are supposed to do, and you need to specify a keyword called add and column, right? And you need to write what column name you want, and you also determine what is the data type that is used for this. So now we have tried to learn the syntaxes of alter and delete, drop. So we are going to learn how to insert values. So when you're trying to insert the values, just write down insert into. So this is the command for insert into students, right? Insert into students. Students is your nothing but table name, and this is the sequence we are going to follow. So if you want to mention the sequence, you can mention the sequence here in this way, or you can also if you don't give also, no problem. We The way we have created the table, in the same sequence you need to enter the values. So once you have written insert into table name followed by values, don't write value but values. This is the syntax. When I write this syntax, I can easily insert a record, right? A record is nothing but your row. I have inserted a row called 5368 is your ID. It's called Smith, and male, and something like age followed by GPA, right? So if I want to delete a tuple, if I want to delete one row, if I want to delete a tuple, so what is the syntax? So delete followed by from. You need to specify student. So sometimes if you don't specify s, actually s is one instance variable that is used for students, right? Or table name. Sometimes we will be writing big table names. So I don't want to use that table name because it leads to confusion, or I cannot type. So I can use an instance variable for that table name called s. So instead of writing students dot name, I can write s dot name, right? So instead of or easy use of the table name or instance, so you can create an instance for table and use that instance always, right? So when you are trying to use this instance, you need to specify with the dot operator. So s dot attribute name, s dot age, s dot name, s dot id, right? You can access it like that. These are integrity constraints. Actually, I can call this integrity constraints as IC. Okay, IC stands for integrity constraint. Integrity means for completeness, and constraint is condition. So if you want to ensure that whatever data you are being inserted into the table, it is correct, it is completed, then you need to follow this integrity constraints. So integrity constraints are basically divided into four types, that is domain constraints and entity referential and key constraints. These are the four types of integrity constraints. So this can be also specified as IEC. IEC stands for integrity constraint. So first constraints have been described here is domain constraint. Generally, domain means it is related to the data type. So here data type, if I am going to give any constraints to the data type, then it is known as domain constraint. So we will be using some constraints with this, that is like a check, or default, or primary key, or foreign key, or unique. So these are the keywords that we can use with the domain. So ensure that these domain constraints you are going to follow whenever you are going to whenever you are going to insert the values into a particular entity, right? Next one is key constraints, primary key constraints. So key is used to identify a particular record in the table. So actually we are having many types of key like super key, candidate key, primary key, unique key, surrogate key, or foreign key, right? So key, coming to key, what is key? Key is used to identify a single record. So whenever I use any attribute as key, then by using that I can identify only one record in the table. So first we will take care of this super key. What is this super key? Super key means any combination of attributes in the table should give a single or unique record. For example, SID, right? By ID, you can identify single person, right? SID name, yes, obviously, SID name is one combination to get a super key or to identify a unique record. I can also go with the name and address. Okay, so in that address only one person with a particular age, so name, address, age is one super key. Any combination, all the combination that leads to unique key or unique record is a super key. So I can say that super key can be many or collection of attributes that find out a single record, right? So once we have find out the super key, we need to know what is the candidate key. Okay, so super key will be many, so out of this you need to take out a candidate key. So candidate key is minimal subset of super key. I can define as minimal subset of super key. Something like in the super key we are having many combinations. Out of that, what will give you the minimum, what combination will give, or what only one entity will give you, or one attribute will give you a single record, then that is known as candidate key. Okay, so what is primary key? Generally when you are trying to use this candidate key, there will be like SID or Aadhaar or phone number or PAN card number, all will act as a candidate key. But what we are implementing in the college, I cannot take Aadhaar card as my primary key. Okay, so I don't like to take, so I will go with student roll number. Or if I visit bank, I cannot take student roll number, right? So account number act as a primary key instead of Aadhaar card. They are alternate keys. Okay, so they also find unique key, but what I am implementing in my database, then that is known as primary key. So the definition of primary key is candidate key that is being implemented is known as primary key. And what is candidate key means the minimal subset of super key is known as candidate key, right? So here the definitions of super key have been mentioned. So all will contribute to uniquely identify the row, but here it is combination of columns, right? Combination of columns. This is permitted for candidate key, but it won't be permitted for primary key. If you want to take out primary key, it should be only one column, right? So these are the examples of super key. So combinations, customer name, customer ID. You can go with customer ID plus name plus SSN number. In America, social security number, just like an Aadhaar number. In US, SSN number is used. So in most of the textbooks, since they are of America, so they will be mentioning in the textbooks as SSN number, social security number. So see here the combination of super key is name plus SSN plus birth date, ID. Many combination, only few combinations have been determined here, right? This is so once you have find out this candidate key, super key, we will be using only primary key only in our tables, right? Because we generally the super key, candidate key, we try to find out by using those things. We will find out primary key. Directly attacking to the database and finding out primary key is little bit difficult. So first we find out the super key out of